is yours.
Okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order, and we have to, do we make a motion to start? Roll call
Montoya. Prince. Here. Byron. Here. Hamlin.
here. Okay, the first item on the agenda is a presentation by Blackwell Elementary School.
So we're going to invite Miss Honeywell to come and join us. It's always difficult in our building to find children to be able to present, so we kind of have a fun little program that Miss Honeywell's been doing that we also do at the middle school. So she's going to give you just a little synopsis of it, and then we'll get into our presentation. Are we going all at the same time, like we're doing our presentation? And
If you want to, you
okay,
can.
Yeah, we do.
She said, yeah, we did.
Get it over with.
All right, well, good evening. I have a program called ROCKS out of the elementary school. It stands for Ruling Our Experiences, and it's for grades 5 through 12 for girls. Carrie Henderson and Pam O'Brien and I went last January to a 3-day training, so this is our second year to get to do this. And ROCKS is a national nonprofit initiative that provides an evidence-based curriculum for middle school and high school girls to build confidence, resilience, and essential life skills in areas like relationships, social media, stress, and leadership. So we spend 20 weeks doing all of those fun lessons. Last semester we learned how to be a good friend, how to notice who is a good friend, who would be someone we should hang out with. We've really been working on our assertive skills, learning how to stand up for ourselves and to not be passive or aggressive in conflict situations. And later this semester, we're actually going to learn some basic self-defense skills. That was part of our training. We had to learn how to defend ourselves. So that's something that I pass on to the girls. And we're also hoping to do some...
Like physically defend yourself?
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes. It's not any like street fighting type things.
Just some basics.
Yes, how to
Which
use
they
your
ask
elbows
for.
and your fingers and those
That's
kinds of
good.
things. Yeah, it's a lot of fun too, to get to do that with the girls. But being a career woman is also a big part of ROCKS. So hopefully in the next couple of months, we'll get to go around town and meet some of the wonderful ladies we have around here that are in leadership. So I asked the girls, we meet on Mondays, to write down some things that they like about ROCKS. So I thought I'd share a few. The first one says, I like ROCKS because I get to express my feelings to girls that understand me, and I hope they know that I'm here for them and that I love them. I like ROCKS because it makes me feel safe. I like that we have fun and it helps me with my stress. I like ROCKS because I get to learn about the different relationships you can have with other girls. And this is my personal favorite. I like ROCKS because there are no boys and it's fun getting to talk about stuff that bothers me.
You know, one thing I think that you mentioned that you're gonna do that I think is really powerful is to take them around and introduce them to ladies, women that are in leadership roles. Because we have a lot of them in
We really do,
Blackwell.
yeah. The list is long.
Important roles.
Yes.
And so I think that can be real eye-opening to think, wow, she can do it, I can do it.
Yes, yeah.
Good. You're doing great.
We've loved having that program. That was really neat. I think most of them were initiated that, and so our middle school get to do it as well. Do we get to shift some that have done it for you with middle school if they feel like they need it?
They don't do it until 8th grade at the middle school, so they can go back as an 8th grader. But they have to sit out through 6th and 7th, because we just don't have enough women to lead it. They'll only allow 10 girls per adult.
But we really enjoyed that. And I just wanted her to speak that sometimes it's those little things that you might not see that are public that we are doing in our school that make a difference. So appreciate it, Ms. Honeywell.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you want to go on some of the...
Yes, so your paper goes over some of our dates. Leadership Blackwell came today, and that was really fun. Our after-school program started back up. Alpha Plus training will be this week, and we'll have our Doodle Academy coming this Wednesday and Thursday, or Thursday and Friday. We're having our PTO meeting, and this will be our big PTO meeting because we're going to be starting to talk about our fun runs. So this will be our one where we talk about our fun run goals. Then next Monday, we will not have school because we will have a PD day for the teachers, and it will be an OETT training and in the morning. And then, on the 20th, we will start our rural school literacy initiative tutoring. That is what we've done the last couple years. It's been called high dosage. This year it's called rural school literacy initiative. We get to have it for 6 weeks. It'll be 3 days a week, and our teachers get to lead that. And we're in the process right now of lining out exactly which kids get to come, and it's really good. It'll give them a lot of high dosage tutoring right before the state testing. And then at the end of the month, we'll have our assembly over fairness in the gym at 8:30. And we would love if you guys like to come, check it out, see what our kids are up to. We'll award our students of the month in the morning, and there's always a spotlight over one grade level that'll present something. Miss Simmons' kindergarten class won perfect attendance for the month of December, and I don't know if you're familiar or not, but in the month of December, for 20 kindergartners to get perfect attendance, that's a pretty big achievement, because
I think so, yeah.
sickness and then all of the things that happen in December, that's pretty big. And she has the biggest kindergarten class too. So that was awesome. We still have 30 students with perfect attendance. And in December, we had 191 students with perfect attendance. So we are really rocking it at attendance
We
this
need to
year.
recognize the parents of kids that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the truth.
Yes.
And out
Serious.
of those 30,
I'm
there are
being
many,
serious.
many
You know.
sibling groups. So.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, they are making an effort, so that's really big.
You said I'm serious.
Serious.
She's serious as
She
well.
listened to me.
At least someone
She's
does.
she's a good woman.
And then just our numbers, we have had lots of
In and outs.
in and outs, but we have had 9 new people enroll since school started just last week, so that's really exciting.
Last week.
Yep.
So I think we're still up 6.
Yep.
So 3 left, and we're still up plus 6.
Yep.
So I think we're at like 503.
Mm-hmm.
We did most of our benchmarks before Christmas, but we're at 0.72% for our growth with the MIRA, which is a reading program that we use as the median, meaning that our students are getting more than half a year of growth, so it's almost 3/4 of a growth for that as a median group. IXL, we also use that as a benchmark, same thing as the middle school, and those are looking great. Alpha Plus right now is our real tell of progression based on standards and curriculum that models the state testing. This growth is live data, and so I included a couple of summatives that I wanted you to see. So we took a beginning of the year called summative A for Alpha Plus, and these students right here, this is how many they scored out of 50. So you can see up at the top, this is I just picked one of the 3rd grade classes, happens to be her kids' class, but that was their summative, and we gave that probably week 3. And then we just did our summative B. And these are all standards based upon state testing. And so look at the B. So before you had parts, and now look at your B. So there was only about 5% that was on level. Now you're at 58%. You'll notice in this class, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children that scored perfect scores out of 50. And this is even progression for the remaining of the school year. And 5 kids scored a perfect score in that class.
Is this based on the Alpha Plus?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it is the same class?
Yes.
Okay.
So summative A before school,
Yes.
this was just our Christmas one. This was our what we call middle of the year, and 5 kids scored a perfect score
Wow.
on that. And some of those things I have not been taught yet.
Wow.
So we're really, this is some good live data right now that's not nationally normed because it's state normed. It's based exactly on our standards for our state. So if you recall that Alpha Plus is what we used textbook line item money, and we asked for the waiver, or asked for us to be able to use that money from our textbook fund to purchase this, and we did. We will have a data meeting to talk about middle of the year with our, our person that comes, the middle school teachers are going to come over and kind of sit in because they would kind of like to look at that. Miss Day, I chose her class, first of all, she uses it with Fidelity. And it's supposed to be supplementation, but man, she just drives with it. Today, we walked in with leadership today to her class, and Today they were learning about time and they all had a clock out and she was doing time with them with her big clock and everybody had a little manipulative. And so it was just fun to watch that. But that's what we wanted to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
With the Alpha Plus,
Yes.
is that all grades,
We are doing that 2 through 5 right now.
just 2 through 5? So are all the teachers doing it?
Yes,
They're all
absolutely.
doing it.
Yes. All of them do
They,
it. Love it.
that's what I thought.
Our kids
Good,
love it.
good.
Love it. I wanted to pick Aubrey's class because she just really drives hard with
I
that.
understand.
And so she's right on the money, so her class had made some good gains, so I showed that.
Thank
We
you.
might include some KN1, they're beta testing that right now, and I wasn't ready to jump off the
I
deep end
understand.
yet with Kristen yet, so.
And it's expensive,
Well, we will.
you know?
The good thing is, we purchased it in the year that we needed to.
Right.
And then obviously we'll have a fee to continue it, but for the most part, it got purchased with those line item funds
Yes.
because it was not a year to adopt another textbook that might eat up that budget. So,
Okay, thank you.
uh-huh.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, the consent agenda. All the following items which concern reports and items of a routine nature normally approved at board meetings will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and approval of the following items. Minutes of the December 8, 2025 regular board meeting, encumbrances of the general fund, 11 encumbrances numbered 367 through 380, building fund, 21 encumbrances numbered 80 through 81, bond fund, 34 encumbrances number 8, the treasurer's report, school activity fund reports, appointment of professional development committee for 26-27 school year, and approval of new superintendent evaluation tool.
Any questions? Hey, that stuff, it was all in the drive.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Awesome.
Roll call,
Montoya? Prince?
Yes.
Irish?
Yes.
Kinsella?
yes. Okay, number 5, board action. Board to consider and take action on superintendent's recommendation concerning the employment of the following positions. Number 1, mechanic, transportation director. Number 2, that's it, number
That's
1.
it, yeah. Okay, we've, been without a mechanic transportation director for 3 months. I've always believed, just gotta be patient and wait out. Well, we have a good one. Very impressed. My recommendation is to hire Nicholas Holland. He's an '09 graduate of Blackwell. I actually graduated high school with his dad, Glenn Holland. He's been working at the Love's South Tonkwall. It's called Speedco, but it's owned by Love's, but as a diesel truck mechanic, And then before that, he was working at Shepherd's as a mechanic, so he knows what he's doing. He's been here about a week and a half, and just so far a go-getter. And he is not certified to drive the bus yet, but we're working on that. And he's wants to get certified and better. But I told him if you don't want to, you can't work here. But he said no, I want to drive a bus. So we're trying to find a class for him to go to get his CDL and get the bus certification. But very knowledgeable. I'm very
Are we
impressed.
in a position to be able to help him with the funding for that class?
Yes, yeah, we pay for everything. And just a refresher on that, if you get a bus certificate and you drive for Blackwell Public Schools, we give you a $2,000 bonus to do that. You get $1,000 after you complete it, right? And that's covering the cost that it's 40 hours to go to this class,
Yeah.
plus you're out the 50, 60 bucks to get the license itself. So we can't pay for the driver's license, but we can give them this stipend to help cover that. But they get $1,000 after they complete it, and then once they've driven for the district for 2 years, they get another $1,000. So I think since we've been doing this, we've only had one person leave after the first year, so they didn't get the, but you do that too to entice them not to leave.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, but he's really, I'm impressed so far. We actually had a van go down, I think it was Tuesday, I believe, last week, or it was one day last week. Joe Jacobs drove a van that was over at the middle school, high school, to pick some kids up that Miss Walford was working with, English language learners. And he went to put it in gear, and it showed reverse, but the gear flop just
Oh,
went
gosh.
and I went and told him, "You need to go look at that," and 15 minutes later, he called me and said it's fixed.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, there's a little plastic thing on the transmission underneath the van, and he said, "I figured that's what it was."
Oh, that's
And
wonderful.
so, but it's
Good.
real good. So my recommendation is to hire Nicholas Holland as our mechanic slash transportation
Is
director.
there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
A second.
Roll call?
Montoya,
Yes.
Prince,
Yes.
Irick,
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
And
Oh.
I think he's gonna stay here. You know, he's contributing to teacher retirement, and, yeah, I think he's 35, 36, but he said, I wanna stay.
I think he's a good hire for
Yeah,
us.
I do too.
I really do. I'm under the same impression that he's gonna stay.
Yeah, and he's got a son in high school,
Yeah.
and a couple, stepkids, twins in the high school, and he's got a 6-month-old.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, so,
Well, he's gonna have to work,
He
yeah.
is.
Hooray.
Yeah, he is.
but I think that he will be here for a while. Okay, Mr. Megan, you wanna go ahead and go?
Okay. For the record, I was not avoiding eating with you, I did not know about the eating.
Oh,
No, I
shoot.
failed to tell him, as I failed to tell Nicole.
It was good.
I was at a basketball game.
Okay,
Cause I went in, I go, "Hey, so you're not gonna eat with them?" Because I didn't even know about it. I
I
said,
failed to tell him.
"Mm."
I failed to tell him.
Down, please.
I failed to tell Nicole and Miss Bookout.
You're kind of important people.
Yes, they are.
Things to remember.
So this is an event chart that, and Macy apparently wanted to make sure you knew
Oh,
that
nice.
she created it, cause it says created by Macy under every single event. Which I will be sure to let her know tomorrow that I certainly would have, given her full credit, cause since she keeps the calendar.
Tell her next time, make sure you also highlight it.
So anyway, we thought this would be a nice thing for you to have.
Thank you.
You know, it's by date, what they're doing, where we have specific times, we put it on there. Sometimes on the schedules for games, they don't always put the exact time, especially for tournaments and things, because they don't always know them ahead of time. But anyway, it's a nice thing to have at a glance. The district wrestling meet is duels is tomorrow at Crossing Christian, by the way. Basketball is at Newkirk. And basketball Thursday at home against Tonkawa, and wrestling at Tuttle. And Friday and Saturday are very unusual. It's in the middle of all this activity. There's no wrestling or basketball games. Because the basketball's played in all the tournaments they can, and wrestling needs a break. Because they went to Texas, and then they wrestled Guthrie, then they went to Cushing, then they're gonna wrestle dual districts, then they're gonna wrestle at Tuttle, so that it will do them good, probably to have a little bit of break on their bodies. So our PD Monday is gonna be a mixed bag. It's not a sit and get for everybody all at once. We have a group that's gonna do VR training. We've had these VR glasses for quite some time and not really had but a handful of people train. So we'll have that. And then we have a group that's gonna work on the previous PDs we've had on the goals for the campus. And then we have 6 people that are working on our K-20 grant. We went down at the end of September for the feedback, so hopefully we'll get it this time. And we have 4 more that are gonna do, ACT is changing their test, they're dumping the science, shortening the times and adding more English and reading. So we have a group that's gonna go over that to make sure we're pinpointing the right things moving forward.
Did you say they're dumping science?
Well, it's optional.
Okay.
Optional. The last one, Dr. Fickus has been working with this, and he's gonna work with our SPED people. For some reason, when a teacher goes in, and so if they have Abby Montoya, and she has an IEP, it's not showing it. And then sometimes it'll show IEP, but when they click it, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't tell them what the modification's for. Is it for reading, is it for math? And the systems, what's the STEM called?
Ed plan?
Ed plan is not speaking to syllogist. Syllogist blames it on ed plan, of course, and ed plan blames it on syllogist. And Dr. Fickus has intervened saying, well, maybe we should create our own folder with what we have while these two argue over who it is, because Mrs. McCleary and Coach Long were under the impression people could see once they put it in there. And it kind of came to a head at the end of the first semester, because there was a couple of kids that were on the border of should they pass or not. And the teachers didn't even, two of them, they didn't even know they had an IEP, and two of them, they had one, but there was no accommodations. And here they felt like Pam and Marcus weren't telling them, and Marcus and Pam were like, are you kidding me? I loaded all this, why aren't you reading it? So it was one of those things where it truly wasn't really anybody's fault per se, but it was poor communication, so we're trying to rectify that, because that's bad for everybody involved, because the students not getting what they need, and the teachers are not aware, as they should be from the get-go, this is what I'm supposed to be doing for this student. So anyway, that's kind of the different groups that we're doing. We added, how many new students have we got, Nicole? 5 or 6?
Yeah, probably.
I can tell you right now.
Okay.
Let me find this sheet. Three.
No, there's more than that.
We've got 3 and then 1 in Altet, so 4 total for the high school.
Well, I'm gonna check tomorrow, there's
Okay.
more.
Let's see.
Because there was one that went into that, it's not the pool.
These were ran today, this morning, so if you gave them somebody today, it's not gonna reflect on
What's the
here.
one, was she coming from Newkirk? Who's the one that had all the A?
Yeah, Ziva,
Ziva.
Ziva,
Not Ziva DeVee from NCIS, a different Ziva.
all A's.
All A's.
Wow.
Just basically, I spoke to Mom, I thought, okay, there's gotta be something going on here. Mom said, Blackwell's a better school, Mom, I want her to go to the better school.
Well, good,
Got it.
yes.
Well, that's just music to our ears,
Yes, it
cause I
is.
thought, well, maybe she's really a secret drug dealer, she gets in fights all the time. Nope, no
And that's
discipline,
straight A's.
no discipline problems, no, they said she's a model student, so we're really
What grade is she in?
excited about her. She's just,
Sophomore?
Lead second semester
All
sophomore.
right.
Yeah.
And then I had somebody call on Friday from Ponca City that has a 9th grader and an 11th grader, so hopefully they'll come as well.
That'd be good.
So sometimes you don't really know if people are paying attention to the academic part. I know that sounds odd, but they get so
It
wrapped
is
up.
odd, Mr. Megan.
They get all wrapped up in a lot of the extracurriculars and what I could consider the window dressing. And don't get me wrong, it's nice to have those things, but we're supposed to be educating people, and I want people to know we're the best by far. And I'm hoping that people will go, you know what, rather than go to this school that's a D or barely a C,
Yeah.
maybe we ought to go to a school that's a high B, almost an A.
Yes.
Anyway, that's kind of where they're heading, so. Anybody have any questions or anything? Okay.
We
I
appreciate
have
you.
one,
Yeah.
where are we in getting that, I mean, is Mr. Fickus gonna be able to achieve that, to derive our own?
He's working on it,
He's
I messed with
working
him
on
today, yeah.
Cause the
It
teachers
just-
have gotta know.
Yeah,
how
but
to-
you've
okay.
got to coordinate with Ed Plan and with Wingage.
Well, I know, but what are those teachers supposed to do in the meantime?
Well, we're going around old school now, handing them pieces of
Oh,
paper.
good,
The
okay.
whole idea was to stop killing trees and have this.
Well,
And then
right.
it's hard for a teacher to, you know, what happens if you have 10? Now you're going through 17 to 20 pages for all 10.
Once
and
they
that's a
can
lot.
communicate, it saves a lot of time. So we're doing everything like we've always done it.
Okay.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's
If he
changed.
can get this going, it's gonna make it easier and simpler
It would,
on the teachers.
cause, I mean, I would have assumed it would have pulled it up, when you read it.
Right, because if you're teaching math,
Yeah,
but my accommodation is for reading only,
right,
that wouldn't even affect you. But if you can't even see what it is, you don't know if you're
Exactly.
supposed to be modifying for me or not.
that's it,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, anything else?
Well, thank you.
Okay.
There's some soup back there if you still want some, Mr. Megan.
Oh.
So you don't go home hungry. I'll start off, first and foremost, the most important thing, thank you to the 5 of you for being on the board. I really appreciate you guys. I tell people all the time, you know, our school system starts with the board and we've got the best. And I really mean that. I had the leadership class in here today, and I said it's a blessing, you know, they all get along. there's no hidden agendas. They may not all agree on the same thing, but it's professional. You know, they hold no grudges, and it trickles down, and it trickles down to the administration, trickles down to the teachers and to the kids. All right, so, just thank you for what you guys do for our school system, and we are blessed to have you here.
We're blessed to have you.
Well, thank you.
Yes, and our administrators and.
Thank
And
you.
our
They're,
administration. I'm so honored to be a part of the Blackwell team. Just every time we have a meeting, I'm just blown away by their reports, what you're doing, everything. Makes you very
Well,
proud.
thank you. Yes, I am proud of what's going on in the schools.
And I think one thing that's real reflective of our board that I think is really great is all 5 of us truly love Blackwell.
Oh, yeah.
We love this town, we love this school, and you don't have that in every community. And so I think that makes a big difference too. And we see that with our principals and with all of you, and that's a great thing.
We're blessed. It is a good place to be. It really is. All right, numbers. All right. We started school in August. First day of school had 1,029 kids. All right. October 1, we had 1,036, which is the highest number we've been all year, right? And that's the number they take for a midterm adjustment, right? So it's good, all right? Last month, we were at 1,022, the lowest we had been, all right? Well, today, we're at 1,034, so we've creeped up 12 kids, so we're just 2 away from the high, so it is good. The elementary, they picked up 7, the middle school 1, and then the high school 4, right, since our
It's coming back.
December meeting. What's that?
See, it's coming back.
Yeah, I think it's coming back
No,
now.
I mean, since school began again in second semester.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
these numbers, yeah.
Since last
Yeah,
month,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
when we met last month, we were at 1,022, all right? December the 8th was our board meeting last month. And today, on the 12th of January, we're up 12 kids, all right? Which we're just 2 away from the highest number we've had. 1036, we're 1034. So that's good. Now, we need to keep these kids to the last day of school, all right?
Yeah.
Your school funding calculation, there's 2 head counts they take. October 1, and then the last day of school, right? So we need that, we need that to stay because it just, we're trending down along with a lot of other rural schools. But anyways, like I said, that's good news. Let me back up. I want to do Mr. Jacobs. He's at a basketball game tonight. I want to go over his report real quick. He said that he is still diving into the school grade card, looking at some frameworks and stuff. He's going to a collaboration meeting in Oklahoma City Wednesday with the OPSRC. I got him hooked up with them over the summer. He really likes, but it's a good group that supports the teachers and administrators with PD. Let's see here. Got a student assembly February 20th. Going to Summit March the 12th and May 13th, and that Summit again, it's grades, behavior, and attendance. Said the teachers are doing a vision meeting. Let's see here, it looks like once a month. They just collaborate on issues and needs of the building. I guess that's probably why it's called a vision meeting. And then peer review and strategies used in the classroom. They've got February the 10th, March 24th, and April the 14th. And then he's got a list of upcoming events. And this is kind of where we get, they email us, and then I in turn get that pushed back out to you guys. So that's his report. All right, let's do our finances real quick. just, you know, I sound like a broken record the last 3 months, but everything's just where it needs to be. Actually, probably financially, it's a little bit better, but you know, which, you know, we're not in a bad spot anyways, all right? But there's just, as you can see, we're just kind of average what we've been doing the last few years. And again, I want to remind you, I do share this with you, so if you want to go back and look as far back, I think as 20, you can, in Google, if you want to go back and look. You know, nothing out of ordinary here. If you notice, our December payroll is quite a bit higher, but it was last December, last year. And if you guys remember why it's higher, we gave the Christmas bonus, all right? So that's why you see,
I'm so glad we're doing that.
oh, me too.
So glad.
I'm learning just,
Several people reached out
yeah,
and thanked.
good,
Yes, I
Good.
received several things.
yes, it's,
Yeah.
it's a good deal, all right? Any questions on this sheet, on the revenue, on the expenses? Just, okay, let's talk about the midterm adjustment. We got our midterm adjustment Thursday afternoon, late. Actually had a superintendent call me, he said they're up. I said, well, they weren't up 30 minutes ago. And he said, yeah, they were, but they changed, they redesigned the State Department's website, and they're camouflaged. I saw Mike Simpson, I don't know if you guys remember Mike, that used to work here, he's Superintendent Guthrie. I was at Guthrie Thursday, and he said, when do you think the midterm adjustment's gonna come out? I said, they're out, Mike. He said, no, they're not, I just looked an hour ago. I said, well, I'll tell you how I learned it. Another superintendent found them somewhere else. It was funny. He called me on the way home, and he said, yep, they're up. He said, we lost almost 500,000, you know. And I told him, I said, we're gonna lose too, because our enrollment, you know, like I said, we took the enrollment numbers from our enrollment's the last day of school last year, all right? Now, the midterm comes for that October 1, all right, which was up a little bit. But here's, we're up 100,000.
That's
All right.
better than kicking the can.
That's better than a kick in the teeth.
Mhm.
And I thought we
So
would,
they lost 500.
yeah,
and we're
almost
up
500, yeah, we're up 100, yeah. I had figured in that we were gonna lose some, all right? But here's what happened. The state added more money into the formula, right? Two things. That helped us about 30,000, even though our enrollment, our ADM dropped, right? They kicked in, let me see, I think I brought those in here maybe. No, I didn't let them on this. They kicked in about $30 per child, right? Now, everybody got that. Every student in the state got an additional $30, right? That helped us, all right, because our ADM was off about 20, all right? So, but by the time you kick an extra $30 per kid, it goes up. And then where we've seen the biggest increase was on the salary incentive factor, right? They take, you know, the veteran teachers cost more, right? And there's a calculation for that. Well, we hired some veteran people like Cindy Wynn over the summer, which they will give you a little bit more money for those veteran teachers. Now, they don't give you enough to make up the differences if you would hire a rookie teacher, but they do give you a little bit more to keep schools from hiring nothing but new people to save money, right? That's where we saw the biggest increase in money. So our midterm adjustment was up about $100,000. You know, and I wasn't anticipating that. I was actually thinking, you know, 200,000 we'd be in the hole because of the ADM. So it worked out. I was just very happy to see that. I want to just kind of tell you a little bit about the calendar. You know, usually in February, we approve the calendar for next year, right? We're going to hold off on that. Two things, all right? First and foremost, you know, we're starting the end of February, you know, we're out Fridays all but one, all right?
Right.
I don't want to approve a calendar, you know, I want to get into this a little bit. I want to maybe get into it a month, you know, and just see how people like it,
I
all right?
think that's wise.
Right. And here's reason two, which is developed in the last 6 weeks. we had a superintendent's meeting last week with John Piper, Roland Peterson, Ken Luttrell, and Bill Coleman at the VOTEC in Ponca. We do this every year in January, and, things that probably gonna come up in legislation. And all four of them said, they're probably gonna make us increase our days in school, all right? And that's another I just kinda wanna, I wanna hold on, I don't wanna approve a calendar and then have to go add to it now. I personally think they're gonna do it. When all four of those guys sit there and say, hey, this is
Well,
gonna.
they're in the know.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, and it's one of these things, you gotta support certain people's bills, and this is coming from the higher up, all right? Now, I personally think it will pass, but I don't think they will make the schools do it next school year. I don't think that gives us enough time, because you got your 4-day school, And when Hoffmeister was
No,
superintendent,
that, it couldn't, because whatever they approve in the legislature goes into effect normally like the 1st of November, so it wouldn't be this next.
they have done some things that,
Well, an emergency
Yeah,
clause, yeah.
but I think it'll be FY '28.
See,
Yeah, we're in FY '26. I think they'll pass it right now, this coming session. They'll give us a year to plan for it. The year to plan for it will be FY '27.
okay.
But I know, I had good friends with the superintendent of Morrison, and they've been on a 4-day week, she said 13 or 14 years.
Have they really?
Yes, and it's just, and they're a good school, they're Blue Ribbon, come on down here.
Hey,
Come on down here.
there's a new rule that if you're late to a meeting, you cannot sit in, you're out. Oh, wait, unless you're Tammy
I
Victor,
got caught in traffic.
I wondered what was going on.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
you're good.
didn't think it was gonna take that long.
But that's those two reasons why I think we're gonna wait in April, May, and I've told the BEA, I've talked to some of those people, and they're fine with it. We're just gonna hold off on a calendar.
Sean, do you think they're gonna add more than we can just add, like, minutes on the
Yeah,
day?
no, it's gonna be days, and that's
Days,
That's
okay.
kind of what's sad. I didn't want to get into a discussion with these guys because I really like John Piper, I really like Roland Peterson. I communicate with Bill Coleman and Ken Luttrell some, and I like those guys, right? But last week wasn't the place to get in
Right.
debate,
They need to agree
But
of it.
they had a mob of superintendents, and I want to love on them, but here's, I've always thought this, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And I think sometimes they forget about that. And like my wife, we've talked about this, and her point is, you know what? If we've gotta work more, we gotta work more. I'm fine with it, but she said if anything could what she would like, and I think a lot of teachers would tell you this, man, just give me the kids more than what we have them right now. And like Friday, and there's nothing we can do about it, but this is an example. Last Friday at the high school, the wrestlers were going to a tournament. The band was going to an honor band. Basketball had a basketball tournament. And that stuff happens, but her point being, I made my, talked on new content Thursday, and she said, you don't expose new content when a third of your kids are gone. So you just, they came in Friday and the kids had questions, they worked on that assignment, but I think a lot of people just said, man, instead of increasing the days, just put something where we have the kids more in front of us, but.
Well, you need to relay that. I mean, like when you had your superintendent's meeting with the legislators, you don't need to love on them, you need to tell them what we expect from them.
But what I just said, that stuff's important, but I think there needs to be a happy balance, and I was a band teacher, right? And band, and I can tell you, track, right? When I first started teaching band, about everything you did was on a Saturday, right? The only things that was during the week
It was that way when I
was a
was in school.
regional contest and district, state, that's during the week, but everything else was on a Saturday, right? Used to track meets, when you had track meet, it's on a Saturday. all right? You can't hardly find a track meet on a Saturday now, right? You know when the track meets are? Monday through Thursday. You know why they're Monday through Thursday? Right. So the people running the track meets, the people bringing kids have their weekends off. But I look at it, you know, that's why we pay you guys a little bit extra money to go above and beyond, but it just, I guess a nice way to put it, if we could limit the classroom disruptions, I don't think we need to add days. Now, their point being, and it's true, if you look at all of our neighboring states, you know, Oklahoma, you know, we work the fewest days.
Do we really?
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
yeah,
Well, I knew we worked fewer than Texas.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but, I think what they're saying, that they're probably gonna make us go up to 180. Now, I will tell you this, when I started here in 17, July 17, I'm almost positive we were at 182 whenever I started here.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and just,
That's true.
yeah, and just my first couple of years here, that's when it's just kind of, you know, we went down and, we negotiate with the BEA, which it's wonderful, we all get along, you know, they'll talk about, you know, decreasing. And I just said, hey, we're at 175, that's something I am not willing at all to entertain. We've got a great school, our grade cards are higher than anybody else, you know, in the area. Why would we wanna jeopardize that, you know? And, I know Tonquah thinks at 171, you know, is what I think this is their second year. You know, and I just, I don't wanna be like them. Yeah, we're better than them.
I never had a year, we never had
No.
a year that was less than
No.
183.
Well, the law used to be 180 was the minimum,
Oh, I
right?
know it.
And then when these ice storms started coming in,
I
they
remember that.
passed a law, said, well, let's do
That's right.
1,080 hours,
Yeah, that's right.
right? And that's, and, you know, we're on hours, you know, but, I don't know of a school that goes by the day formula still, but, I just, so I just think that's coming. As far as financially, here's the reality of it is, you know, we don't have to pay the teachers a penny more to have them work, they can work 190 days, right? And we legally do not have to pay them anymore. However, the support, you know, if they increase, you know, it works. We're at 175. Let's say we have to work 5 more days. You know, we have to absorb the cost of that. And I think that's something the legislators are gonna hash out. And they do know, and matter of fact, it was, I think John made the comment that, he said that, I think it was John said that they've done the research and it basically cost the taxpayers of Oklahoma, I think he said, I think it's either 25 or 250 million a day. I think it's 25 million a day. That's what it costs to have school in Oklahoma. It's $25 million a day. So they know that they've got, you know, if they're going to up this, they've got to, you know.
Well, and they're caught between a rock and a hard place because we're at 50.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody's
Yeah, and,
looking
you
at
know,
we gotta do something.
But I want to stress again, it's not about quantity. It's
No,
about quality.
It is.
You know, you can go throw a lot more days at somebody, but are you really gonna get anything out of it? You know, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. Did I talk to you guys last month about the property tax initiative that's going through? I can't remember if I did or not.
No.
All right, let's talk about that. We had a long discussion about this last week. And it was on Channel 4 News this morning. I don't know if you guys saw that. There's a national movement across the whole United States to just eliminate taxes, period. All right? President Trump even said here a few weeks ago, hey, I see us here in the near future not having any federal tax, any, right? I guess they're making a lot of money off tariffs, right? Well, that's the nobody, I don't want to pay taxes. I don't think anybody in this room wants to sit here and say, man, I love paying taxes. Nobody does. But it's just, you gotta pay taxes. If you want nice things, you know, schools, streets, fire department, police department, you gotta pay taxes, all right? Okay, in Oklahoma, there is a strong, strong movement right now to eliminate property taxes. A strong movement to eliminate property taxes, all right? Like I told the leadership class this morning, that's where our money comes from, 25% of our money. There's a few people in Oklahoma City. Shane Jett is one of them. I think he's from the Shawnee area. He's really behind this, all right? But I don't think there's enough traction to do anything at the Capitol, but what they're going to do, they're going to get a petition, all right? And last I heard, they need about 70,000 signatures, which they will get. If you go knock on 70,000 doors, say, hey, if you sign this, you're gonna get to vote whether you pay property tax or not. Who's not gonna sign it that's not educated, all right? Well, they're gonna get that. Once they get their 70,000 signatures, we're all gonna vote in the state of Oklahoma whether we pay property taxes or not, all right? I'm kinda scared about that. As is all your county governments, all your schools, or your VOTEX. It's something we've got to put on our radar. We will have to get out, once this initiative passes, we'll have to get up and educate people. And we will have to work our tails off.
And they will do the right thing. I think if it comes down to it, I've talked to several people about this. If it comes down to it's a statewide vote on, we will have to work our panties off.
Yeah.
But people will do the right
I
thing.
think if you educate people, Rich,
Yes.
you got to educate them.
Because we do the same thing when we have a bond issue.
Yeah.
We get out there, we educate people, and they always do the right thing.
Well, in this meeting last week, I asked the four of them, I said, just out of curiosity, has there been any backdoor discussion about making up that revenue if this does?
Right.
And they said, no, there really hasn't been,
And what's that say about your leadership?
Yeah, well, you need to start discussing it, Now, Blackwell, it's gonna hurt us, but you take some of these schools that get more local money than we do, it's gonna hurt them a lot more, and you just can't take that money
Well, it
away.
can't happen.
No, but but you guys need to know about it, and like, we're not voting tomorrow, the petition hasn't even been presented at the Capitol, but I know there is a big movement that's going to get this going. So we just need to be aware, and when it comes around, we will just educate people, and that's just, they gotta educate.
I do think that when they're in session and you're at the Capitol, you need to be bringing this up. That in case this were to become reality, what's the game plan?
Yeah, exactly right.
Because our leadership in our state government needs to be looking at it right now.
Let me tell what Shane Jett said, and he's the guy from Shawnee that's
Yeah.
kind of pushing this. This was his quote, it got him on camera. Well, the schools will just have to adjust their budgets, won't they?
Oh, my goodness.
That's what he said.
What does he do for a living?
Exactly.
He's a rep or a senator from the.
So he's an elected
Yeah.
official.
Yeah, he's an elected official from the Shawnee area.
Well,
Goodness.
we can get billed. Shawnee,
Yeah.
well,
But
they're always on the news.
Oh, they are.
here's what's gonna happen if it does pass. Every school in the state of Oklahoma
Yeah.
will have mass layoffs.
Oh, yes.
Mass layoffs.
Somebody better be coming up with some
You know,
ideas.
so, Again, this won't go into effect next year, but I foresee us, now if they get the signatures and everything, I could see it on the November ballot
Oh, I could too.
of this year,
Mhm.
if they really expedite things. But I could see it, but we just, let's hope we don't have to educate anybody that it doesn't get out, but we met in December with Leeming, our county treasurer, Carol Leeming, I think's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she gave all the schools a printout and said, hey, this is what you're gonna lose if this goes through, and like I said,
That's where we need to be educating the public.
yeah, we will, so,
And how we're gonna make that up.
now,
We'll get through it.
Yeah, we sure will. Just, I wanna bring you up to date. My last thing is, we talked several months ago about the lighting on the football field.
Yes.
And we're, you know, we will have to get new lights on the football field. I'm working with that. One of the bolts we discovered is broken, just busted in the concrete. We've gotta get that fixed first, but, probably, we will probably have some bids next month, to look at for lighting at the
We're
football
working
field.
on the scoreboard
Yes,
same time.
yeah, I've got bids for scoreboards already. And, my plan is, to put a new lighting and scoreboard at the football field over the summer, you know, spring, summer,
Sure.
so,
Put on the back of that scoreboard, welcome to Wheeler Houston Field. Be
yeah,
great.
we can do that. All right, that's all I've got. You guys have any questions for me or anything? It's been kinda quiet, which is good.
It's good.
Been kinda quiet. Okay, Madam President, we're ready to move on.
Okay, so we're
Right there, yeah.
So, probably go to executive session at 6:52.
Do we need to discuss the annual?
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. Let's back up. I forgot about that. The annual dropout report, which,
Thank you, and
yeah, thank you, yeah. It's lower, about the lowest we've ever seen. Now, don't forget, this is last school year, all right? Ninth grade, a dropout is defined as somebody that does not come back to school and we can't find them. We don't
Right.
know, you know, where they went. 2 in the ninth grade, 2 in the 10th grade, and that's it. 4, which is very good. And that, you know, that says a lot to the high school administration and our wonderful Alt-Ed program, keeping those kids engaged out there. All right, that's it. Thank you, Angie.
I make a motion, we go into executive session.
Second it?
Montoya? Prince?
Yes.
Ira?
Yes.
Antilla?
Yes.
Bickford?
Okay, do you guys need anything from me? Okay, I'll wait out here and you can come get me when you're done.